on my way.
What up, y'all? My name is YT Rhymes, and this is BaxGlobal Music Episode 6. I have my special guest with me. He is the co-host of BaxGlobal Music and the Axe Mode podcast, and the head of the Nebraska division of Battle Axe Global, as well as the head of Wild East Entertainment. He is
Mr. East. How y'all doing today? Sorry about that, YT. I rotated my fan the wrong direction and it blew my tapestry in front of the camera. It's just a fucking mess.
I thought it blew your notifications into your speaker.
Yeah, that was uncanny timing. The notifications actually did start coming in. I just tossed my phone across the room, to get rid of it.
Yeah.
It's just not so loud.
Anyways, so we have Mr. East on with us today. This is episode 6, and I have a few questions for you, Mr. East. As I've been a co-host of yours for like 3-4 months now on the Axe Mode podcast. We've had it's been quite a while. It's been crazy. We've had a lot of great guests, and I just wanted to get into the collaboration between Battle Axe Global and Grind Mode Cypher. How did you originally facilitate that?
All right, so it all started back around 2016 when, 2015, I started taking a lot of notice into Grind Mode, and I thought it was really cool because, over the years, I'm 32, so I've seen a lot of organizations arise, so to speak, around hip hop, and this one really stuck out to me, just like speaking from the beginning, it really stuck out to me how the chemistry between individuals because of music was there, and of course how the conversation and how everything must have been laid out, as a business aspect to bring people to these things that they do. I'm just like, these ciphers are dope because, I started looking into like Team Backpack and these other cipher groups. I'm like, some of them are kind of dope. Some of these ciphers are dope from that group and this one, but it wasn't consistent. And well, you know what I'm talking about. You like you said in your last interview, you were a fan of battle rap, and there's a lot of people out there who are, and there's that certain feeling of hesitancy in the energy of delivery with people. And with Grind Mode, I never really sensed that. Of course, not saying nobody ever gets nervous. Of course, if I ever did my first cipher with Grind Mode, I'd be nervous as shit. But they seem to have a great rapport with the community because as a year into 2015, I'm seeing like, oh, they're all over the place. As I'm researching my thing, I'm like, oh, this cipher's dope. This cipher's dope. Because even before I started paying attention to them, I had a couple homies in Nebraska who were like, oh, yo, you ever heard of this group? You ever heard of this group? And I was just so busy doing my own thing because at the time I was a dog breeder. So that took up a lot of my time, waking up at 4:30, at 5:30 in the morning, taking care of multiple litters over the course of like a year and a half. Like, it was just too much. But yeah, so I finally got around to it, and I'm just following, made some really good life changes in 2016, kept on that course. 2017 came around. I got sponsors to help start the Nebraska division. There's a lot of individuals out there that I'd like to thank at the end of the show. So thank you to all of you on that. So, I'm just watching the chemistry build. I've watched over 100 videos at this point in 2017. We had a couple division meetings and whatnot, and they were really good. And we all had our particular interests in music because it's a universal connection, no matter what genre of music you like. And one of the ones we all focused on, of course, was hip-hop. That's one of the main things in Global is hip-hop, but most of us in the Nebraska division also like heavy metal. So, it was just one of those things that were like, okay, well, let's link up with people who do music. Let's link up with other organizations, whether they're local, far away, in another country, branch out, get to know people, see what they're about. So I'm just checking it out and looking at more and more videos, and I'm just seeing like these individuals are repeating, like I'm seeing reoccurring faces. Obviously, it'd be kind of hard not to if you're paying attention. Um, so I'm just like, okay, well, these people seem like solid individuals. So, I start thinking to myself, how, when would be the right time? And well, like a lot of people say, for small businesses or people looking to create something out of nothing, um, an event like the pandemic, there is really no better time to actually band together, whether it's under the charity organizations that BaxGlobal works with, whether it's individual divisions across the world doing things in their community. There has always been something to connect to. So I'm just like, okay, well, in my mind, I kind of looked at Grind Mode in a way as an organization that is orientated like a charity. They have a very solid structure. They are problem solvers. They are solution makers. Um, they aren't really the type to do petty bickering, obviously. I mean, but as like global and grind mode, they're ever growing, ever expanding. So you do see the people that drop off, and you don't really hear a huge explosive negative backlash. Unlike multiple organizations from hip hop is to from the 80s to now, so many organizations have those catastrophic blowouts with the people they work with or that they call family. And so it's nice to see another organization that doesn't gravitate towards that negative nonsense, and it's really about building positive. And through hip hop, doing community outreach for hip hop, bringing it all over the place. I mean, there's people who participate, like producers from Europe. I mean, you've obviously the Axe Mode podcast. You're a producer. You're a rapper.
Yeah.
So you know all the people from around the world that they work with, and it's amazing because we are structured in a similar format. So I'm just like, damn, the pandemic's the perfect time to reach out. I started noticing their Sunday night grind. I saw the potential in it. I started making Wild East. At the time, it was Wild East Promotions. I wanted to see how my own thing, along with being promoted to, at the time, was just the Yellow District of Battle Axe Global. Sometime I'll do a repost on my personal profile of the original map setting, but it was the Yellow District. And I'm just like, we got the West Coast, we got the Wild West. I was like, something unique. So I'm like, Wild East, we the people, we stand together kind of thing. So I'm like, okay, Wild East Entertainment, kind of just throw it all together. And, I started investing money. I didn't waste money. I made a solid investment. And they started, I started paying attention to also like the live streams on the Facebook, and I started talking and communicating and talking about the things that the Nebraska division wants to do as a collective whole, and things that we do as a collective whole in global. And AOK was interested. I asked about maybe some collaborative efforts. It was kept on the down low for a while. I relayed it to Rocco. He kept it on the down low. Over time, there was a little mention here and there between grind mode and global. So that was kind of cool to watch it grow and grow. And there's a couple individuals that I was talking to the whole time, just thinking, man, wouldn't that be crazy if we actually could build with these guys? Like, it'd be so beneficial for both sets of the families involved to on many levels. So, and obviously like Mickey Bourbon, Trip B, Mock Movado. I mean, a lot of like-minded individuals that I see parallel to global, which is a really nice thing that, want to help the community, whether it's through music or out of music. It's really nice. Like our interview on the Axe Mode podcast with Epidemic, BaxGlobal member in Canada, working in the medical dispensaries, doing the righteous medical cause, like that's dope, all about positive expansion. So as time goes on, the Sunday night grind, they start liking the artists that, I support. There's no contracts in Wild East Entertainment, the name it is now. But I do plan to make it an official company by the end of 2022. I have Luke Heath, the graphics designer of Callisto Records, as I like to say. I don't know his official title, but I do consider him kind of an official member of Callisto Records. And he's working on a customized logo right now. I would love to give more details about it, but it is just in the beginning stages. Maybe in a future episode on Axe Mode or Axes Up or one of the podcasts we do, I can give a little exposure on it.
Hell yeah, that's dope.
Certain tribute aspects to it that are going to be dope.
So I wanted to touch back on Wild East Entertainment. So what was the original idea? Well, you already spoke on the originality behind Wild East, but what was the purpose for Wild East originally?
Well, as quite a few people know, I wouldn't say I'm a music snob, but I'm picky with what I listen to. And I just had this feeling like there's people out there that need to be heard, and I want to try to communicate with these people, ask them if I could share their music, ask how we can collaborate on ideas together if it is possible. I don't expect people to come out of pocket. None of that. It is strictly just for positive growth. I mean, eventually in the future, maybe if it's successful, maybe I could do something with that. I mean, but the original intention is to just expand the growth of hip hop that needs to be heard, and charities that are going on around the world through global that need to be heard. So kind of a dual purpose thing. So I start reaching out to artists, and before I got involved with Grind Mode, I was talking to Maze Overlay of Callisto Records. He's coming back into the game, coming back in with a new style, which is dope. Everybody who knows who Maze Overlay is on the Sunday Night Grind loves Maze Overlay. So, I asked him, hey, I like to, share your music, and, if there's any specific details that you need to know, let me know. And then, I'm just like, okay, Maze Overlay is amazing, but there is also a couple other individuals that I would like to reach out to personally. So as it goes on, I reach out to Grim Moses, Mason Graves, and then it was kind of a process of seeing who these three individuals work with. And, asking global members here and there, like, hey, who's a dope artist to listen to? So, like Sleep Sinatra. I never heard of him, and he was from where I recently lived in Lincoln, Nebraska. So it was really cool to see this individual that I found through Maze Overlay, and I kind of reach out to him. I kind of explain to him like, hey, like, I'm Mike Miller. I do this under Wild East Promotions, like no cost, because right when I was doing this, not too long after, a lot of those people, that the whole hype about, oh, let's get these motherfuckers just to send us, a picture and $40 just to make a 3-sentence post. So a lot of people were skeptical about when I reached out to them. Even I imagine, shit, everybody I worked with probably was like that in the beginning, and I can't blame anybody. Promoters suck.
Hey, I could have that, but anyways, I wanted to highlight another Wild East artist of yours.
What's that?
He goes by the name of Lux Wave, and I don't think he really gets enough recognition for his talent that he is currently getting. So I know we spoke about this before, but we wanted to highlight one of his new tracks, right?
Yes. Okay. So It's definitely a more recent track, and a lot of people that I talked to grew up in the '90s. Didn't just listen to hip hop; they listened to shit like Nirvana, Pearl Jam. In the early 2000s there was Everlast, and in the late '90s there was Everlast too. So this one, if you ever listened to that when you were younger in the '90s, or in like the earlier now, like Nirvana, Pearl Jam, Everlast kind of vibe, you're gonna really like this one because it really kicks off on that, and it's really appealed in a nice setup. The delivery is on point, and the topic is just very creative and well laid out.
Hell yeah. So let's get into it. This is Lux Wave with Dreamcatcher. BaxGlobal music, y'all. Check it out.
Man, I'm thankful for the day. You can get up out my way. There's a white ass shaman working down at the corner store. Old lady cross the street, seen a couple wars. Caffeinated wife boy charged what she can't afford. Another youngin' on the block, let the cannon blow. Free to walk around his cage like an animal. I heard them UFO be flying out of Santa's home. Pay you with a sickness, then they charge you for the antidote. If all roads lead to nowhere, let me drive it slow. Life is like a dream, I'm trying to stay awake through. Depression mixed with ambition, that's a strange groove. Ever since I pressed play, been on the same groove. She said I'm nothing, but I'm everything and more. Yo, supercell storms getting bigger every year now. Countdown to extinction, no return around. I know it's hard to keep it quiet when you serving loud. A bunch of vegans still living in a burger town, where no malice, follow Alice down the rabbit hole. Book the Eli when I travel, keep my chalice cold. In the matrix, meditating in my savage mode. Too many people unhappy inside a lavish home. Life is like a dream, I'm trying to stay awake through. Depression mixed with ambition, that's a strange groove. Ever since I pressed play, been on the same groove. She said I'm nothing, but I'm everything and more too. Some think the earth is flat, others say it's hollow though. The fuck if I know pop this fabric on my collarbone. That's my survival, leave them deader than these dial tones. Go with this water, so I'm here when all these fires gone. I catch these feelings in the air through my entire bones. And I know to never tell you unless I made it violence prone. A lot of pressure on the youth, shout out to Violence Zone. Michael Jackson told me early that we not alone. Life is like a dream, I'm trying to stay awake through. Depression mixed with ambition, that's a strange groove. Ever since I pressed play, been on the same groove. She said I'm nothing, but I'm everything and more too.
Lux Wave with Dreamcatcher. Hey, Mr. East, do you know who produced that track?
I do not, but you can catch the official video on Lux Wave TV on YouTube.
Hell yeah. So do us both a favor and head over to the YouTube page, Lux Wave TV, hit that subscribe button, and hit the bell next to it if you want to know next time that Lux Wave drops a new track.
And definitely, if you are curious as well, I know YT will probably hop on there afterwards and ask who the hell produced this song.
Yeah, because
That's most likely going to happen. I don't know. If you guys beat him to the punch, let me know in the comment section.
Hell yeah. So quick shout out to our comment section. We got Willie P in Thailand. He's joined us. He says, your knowledge of the underground is dope. Lyric intelligence. Also, starting from zero, building from nothing into something positive, moving forward. Also,
Thank you.
Toby Brady up in the chat. He says, axe is up, brother. Axe is up, Toby.
Much respect, Toby. Thank you. And Will, thank you. Those are very kind words. I try. It's ever expanding. So, there's a world out there that I haven't explored in hip hop. It's a long journey. There's a lot of saturation in every music genre. Hip hop's no exception to this.
No.
So, you gotta stay focused when you're trying to give information and not seem too subjective, because a lot of conversations just subjective. Just gotta be open-minded.
So let's get right deep into the life of Mr. East. So, where were you born?
San Diego, California.
San Diego, California. Where did the story go from there?
Well, I was actually adopted. I was left on a boat in Glorieta Bay, California, and adopted by a family when I was about a year old. And then life goes on. Moved to Escondido, California. Hung out in Poway, Santa Fe, on road trips. Let's see, went down to Mexico a couple times. That was pretty cool as a kid to see another culture like that. Definitely back then it was easier to get into Mexico. Kind of periodically check in on like how complicated it is. It doesn't sound like it gets any less complicated. So there's that. Then my dad got custody of me, and we lived in a mountain town. He sold all of his stocks and whatnot, and moved us to a nice mountain town. It was pretty cool. So we'd go hiking a lot, go camping a lot, and whatnot. Fucking then end up moving to Lincoln, Nebraska. Then graduated, got into some street nonsense, like most people do. Was pretty good at getting in trouble, like most people. But as you get older, you make better choices. Decided to be a dog breeder, for a
Yeah,
while.
let's get into that. I actually want to know about that because I didn't actually know about that before.
All right. So when the old movement was a thing, I looked into breeding dogs. So through one of my exes, their parents had puppies and whatnot. So I'm like, oh, cool. I can get this male puppy. I'm gonna name him Jet, whatever. So a couple of years go by. I'm like, okay, now I need to find a female for him. So I'm like going up the social network ladder, and me and Jet, like we're buddies. Damn computer's the opposite with the StreamYard, drives me nuts. But so Jet and I, like we visit like 6-8 different female dogs, and then we meet this one female named Spirit. I was like, okay, I want to buy your dog. And it just so happened that the lady's like, oh, well, I'm moving to Texas and it's going to be too hot for this dog, right? So I end up buying this dog, have my own place. At the time, it was pretty crazy. I was waiting for this new place to get done being renovated. So one day I had Jet and Spirit separated. Spirit opened the door. She ended up getting pregnant. And during the 8-month stay at this place, ended up giving birth to a litter of puppies right before I moved.
Oh, wow.
3:30 in the morning, I woke up. She was already halfway done.
Damn.
She did her thing like a mom and dog does. Didn't need much help or anything. Spirit was a beast.
Damn.
So like from there on, I'm just like, oh my goodness, this is the first litter. Unfortunately, one didn't make it. Like it's bound to happen.
Yep.
So ended up burying that one, and I think it was about 4:30 to 5:30 every morning for about the next 5 weeks, easy, before I started, bringing people over, my personal friends. All the litter from the everyone from the first litter was personal friends, so that was actually really cool. But it's a lot of work. Today I heard my girlfriend Brittany talking to her friend Katie, and her friends like, yo, this just reminds me of taking care of a kid. This is nuts. And she helps adopt animals out, so she's foster adopting this puppy right now, and it's a pit bull husky. And the last litter I had out of three or 4 litters, was pit bull husky, and the pit bull mix was a blue nose gator pit. So they were full of energy, and let me tell you, when it comes to taking care of apex style hunting dogs, when they like want to hunt everything, it's a handful. One of my personal favorite like experiences that was just an absolute bloody mess. No pun intended. Jet, Spirit, and I kept one of the first puppies from the litter, named her Luna. There's this family of bunnies that just, lives in the backyard. I have about 3/4 an acre out in Air Park, Lincoln, Nebraska, a little suburb of Lincoln, Nebraska. And, well, they all jumped out my back. I have a back window and then the garage door where I can take them out. During the fall time, I just let them jump out the window to the backyard, and they seen these bunnies, and I just thought, oh, they want to go run around and, be huskies and run their energy out. No, they
Yep.
chased that family of bunnies down. It was just amazing to see these dogs hunt, just
Yeah.
the natural instinct, and
Yeah.
then the less bloody experience. Well, there was no blood at all. Jet, Luna, and Spirit, there's this park in Lincoln, Nebraska during the wintertime. Nobody visits, and a lot of deer run through this park. So I'm letting them run around, and I'm not even thinking at the time. I'm just like, fuck it. I had a couple drinks, smoked me a couple joints. So I'm just like, cool. I'm just chilling. This is an easy 4.5 to 5 years ago. And I just let them run around. They're following me. We're hanging out for a good 45 minutes. And then they see like this almost adult doe, this female deer. And they just took off, like all three of them. And you just see the deer jumping, and you see the huskies jumping in different directions. Like the deer got away, and 45 minutes after that, I found them. They were all just chilling, waiting for me, just making their noises. Kind of nice. I didn't have to go too long to find them. But if anybody out there has dealt with a husky, my best advice to you is the first 6 months you need to at least dedicate an easy 6 to 8 hours a day on socializing with, if you have kids, other animals. They are apex predator dogs, so they're very a-specific with what kind of cats they'll want to kill, what kind of dogs they'll go after. So the earlier the socialization you can get it done, the better. And the moment you hit 75 degrees outside, do not keep your dog outside for more than 45 minutes. That is a critical heat temperature for them to actually get heat stroke. Number 2, do not throw water on them when it's that hot outside and then leave them outside. That just increases the chance that they'll get a heat stroke. Get a kiddie pool, fill it up with water, like you see a lot of people do with other dogs. Let them run around in it, let them have fun. Don't yell at them. That's one of the things specifically underlined at the dog. Puppy training is extremely frustrating. Crate training is one of the best things you can do with huskies. Doesn't mean just throw them in a kennel and lock them in there. It's to teach them that there's a quiet time and so forth, So those are some key advices for that. Oh, they're escape artists by nature. They will dig under. They can jump well over 4 feet into the air over a fence. So, especially like YT just got a dog that's a King Shepherd and a German Shepherd, you're going to run into the same things that huskies kind of do. So, if you have to, make your fence taller for sure.
Yeah. But anyways, I want to jump back to the music a little bit. Grind Mode Cypher, you've been actually working closer with them lately, as like collaborations are starting to pop up with Grind Mode Cypher.
Well, and yeah, they're always busy. They always have something going. So some of the things you can all look forward to with collaborations in Grind Mode. More recent, I guess, would be the open collab that AOK does. YT RhYmZ, Mickey Bourbon, Sean Crutch. I don't personally know anybody else. I haven't really just asked, hey, are you doing this open collab? It's pretty cool.
I've seen them post.
Like I said, promoting to a certain degree is kind of it takes a unique touch not to come off as one of those people that aren't liked in promoting, I guess. Represent it properly and it won't sound like that. Yeah. But yeah, I would expect like $5 for an open collab on a dope beat, hooks already made with a dope verse on it, and you get the second go. So it's like you get second verse. So it's kind of everything's set up for you. All you really gotta do is drop that 45 to 52 seconds. Like, you know,
16.
This is going to be my first recording, so trust and believe I'm doing my due diligence to make sure I come correctly and don't sound like some fuck-faced doofus. So, you know, of course, there's that. You know, if it's hip-hop and you respect it like any genre, don't disrespect the hip-hop. So, even if I don't win, it's just merely the experience of getting to work with somebody on a public collab and then getting a chance to work, I guess how I would phrase, privately, because you're winning a contest by getting a spot on, I believe it's his current mixtape project, correct?
Yes, so it's 2K21. Head over to grindmodecypher.com. You can hit up the shop and you can send a donation there, or you can hit up AOK directly, send them the $5, get the collab. Like Mr. East said, it's all set up for you. Drop that 16 and get in there. It's a great opportunity. We got Kills has just joined us in the chat. What up, Mike?
What up, Mike? Get on that AOK open collab. $5.
Yeah, get on there. Yeah, get on there. 16.
Yeah, I'm gonna ask Battlecat later if he's gonna get on it. I know Doe the Unknown should get on there. Highway should get on there.
Yeah,
for sure.
So you know, speaking of grind mode,
amazing individuals out there.
So speaking of grind mode, we have a guest this upcoming Tuesday on the Axe Mode podcast by the name of
Mark Movado. Great individual. Recent projects that was done is a single with Mickey Bourbon, Cottonmouth, and Mamba. Dope track. These two individuals are a deadly duo. Definitely check the track out. That's not what we're going to showcase to you today. Just a recommendation from me. Much respect to Mickey Bourbon and Mark Movado. Like, y'all are great guests. Y'all come correctly. And y'all are great advocates for the hip-hop community. So that's what y'all will be. You know, I speak highly of these individuals, so you'll be looking forward to a great time with Mark Movado. Now, I don't want to take all that up, but YT, what do you got to tell these people about Mark Movado?
We got a brand new track that Mark Movado just dropped that we want to showcase for y'all. It's coming up off of his new project called MVDO. Be on the lookout for his page. You can add him up at Mac Movado on Facebook and be on the lookout for that. We are going to showcase his new track, which goes by the name of Domination. I'm going to get to it right now. Just hold up. Too many clicks. Not enough screens. Alright, here we go. Mac Movado with his brand new track off his brand new project coming up, MVDO. Check it out, y'all.
Take my calls, I'm in a meeting. You gon' have to pardon me, no cards to see. I put my hands close to my chest like it's hard to breathe. I'm hard to leave, don't let these rappers bother me. Think I'm a dick now, waiting till they start to beat. I give a fuck who you voted for, should've put the support. Man, I'm chillin' in my old board, trying to make my own sport. Humility is key, you get in front of me, it's gon' hurt. It's out for nobody, bitch, so tell me now which one's worse. Cause I been a bastard, fuck these out, I barely even like these rappers. I'm supposed to start beefing so they can feel official and be burdened to a victim once it turns to an issue. Like, come on man, now we know what it is. Handle your biz, they got a cap, we know you a bitch. Social media got people really feeling like they stealing your reality, refuses to retaliate with gentle hands. Move up and down like a city sub. You want that beef for the B-roll. Lumping these humdrums who catch some the less some. The best run once a hit, but I'm a pump. La-di-da with no time for lacking. Y'all epitomize a snake, bitch, but I'm a dragon. Yeah, but fuck all that rah-rah. I'll be damned if I fail because I measure my success on a whole nother scale. So, I'm a burn to your city. Go crazy on the microphone, 5150. They told you leave that man alone, but had it coming to me. And I ain't rolling over, yeah, I brought my demons with me. You know, this time it's mine. And I know, you know, this time it's mine. There's lions and tigers and bears and the snares. It ain't fair, I don't care, I'ma walk up in there with a handful of flares and a tank full of gas and a mask, no more rats, and I'm hit for that ass. I drop a predecessor, apprentice, and make prerequisite. Success is anybody who really feel like testing. In the sky like a 5-5, trying to grab some cyanide just for fucking with my grind. hold up. I'm McAfee with smackadoo before I cop an attitude. Snapping at those apples with battle tactics before it's true. His homie don't know me, bobbing that shit cause he's new. Now I'm blasting double barrel, might some clapping at you. Oh, the conspiracy calamity. These haters still won't stand for me. Cause after all they planning, when I'm standing where they planted me, they trying me. The ironies of fire and your vanity. The opposite reacting, give it back what it was handed me. I'm a birth of your city. Go crazy on the microphone, 5150. They told you leave that man alone, they had to come and get me. And I ain't rolling over, yeah, I brought my demons with me. And I know, you know, this time it's mine. And I know, you know, this time it's mine.
Yeah, that was Mac Mavado with his track called Domination. You can add him up, Mac Mavado Blackwell, so you can know when he drops his brand new music.
Sorry about everyone. My brother, also the communication officer of the Nebraska division, also CEO, founder of Resolution Promotions and Community Outreach for the indigenous community, spreading awareness about what's going on and dope ass music. Shout out to Sir Justin Anderson. Thank you for the phone call. Always enjoy talking to you. Just for a quick minute, it was a hell of a perfect time in the call. We just had a 2-minute talk. It was very nice to catch up on, but I apologize to all y'all for the, everybody loves the loud Facebook rings, right?
Yeah.
Doesn't matter which ring you swing it to, it just all highly ridiculous.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
much love to Sir Justin Anderson out there.
Yes.
So let's talk about your relationship with Sir Justin Anderson and getting involved with the Nebraska division.
All right. So, Sir Justin Anderson, he's a great individual. That's one person I can definitely, no matter what, any life situation that I'm dealing with, I could drop it on him and it wouldn't be a thing. Even in the most insane situation, I know that without a doubt, it'll be handled correctly. So I've known Justin for about 12 years now. And, this was before Global, before the old movement, and we were always about, giving back to the community, like the community barbecues, giving the extra coat out to those who need it, helping animal out if you, improve the community. That's what we're about. We're at a park, we'll clean up trash just cause. I don't give, we didn't give a shit what people think. Do the right thing. Just like Superman says, know better, do better. So that's kind of how we always were, even when we got involved into the stupid shit that the streets have to offer. We made sure that we had a future to go to, so to speak. We were always thinking about the future, and the concept that originally came with Battle Axe Warriors, when it was just more of a fan club and like organized fan club, I would call it, almost like a cult following. It's kind of weird in its own ways, not to be disrespectful. Dope music back in the day, but due to poor business choices, the founders, they didn't handle it correctly. So Rocco DiPapolo came in, bought out all the rights. He was there from the beginning, so it just made sense. He's also a person who like Justin and I, we're both from California. He's from Sacramento. I'm from California. We both met in Nebraska, so we understand where Rocco comes from when he talks, and we idealized with that. And, he was one of the original members of the Nebraska division. And we all had a fine understanding on how things work, how making things better, what things make it ridiculous to do to the community and for the community. That some people may say, well, that's very self-righteous of you. But a lot of people agree with how we call it, how we see it. They agree. And it's kind of hard for somebody to deny that. So, we're like, oh, fuck it. We'll get the sponsorship. We'll handle it correctly. I reached out to him, let him know, like, the sponsorship's been finalized. We're approved to be a part of a division, the first one next to Colorado. So that was a huge thing for us, to be.
So you started the division with Justin?
Yes, and Andrew Tinsley.
All right.
Yes. And we were always about building. We always wanted to get involved. It didn't matter. We had very ambitious ideas, such as, like, an example, Sir Justin, Andrew Tinsley, my treasury officer for the Nebraska division, who is also a brother I've known for even longer, actually. We had ambitious ideas like saving up for land and giving homeless people a chance to build a real resume and have a place to live. Of course, if some people are like, well, you got to be careful, that doesn't look like slave labor. Well, like, compared to what people deal with on the streets every day, maybe a second chance where the opportunity that's gained is a resume, a good reputation. You worked with a charity organization, you did solid work, you made yourself better. Sobriety as well. I mean, you can leave and go whenever you want. That was kind of one of the things we wanted to do for the community, and give the food to the community, and charge like maybe a small fee to the community to keep growing the process, as any charity outreach should, to recoup what they invest and to expand it. It's a legitimate business at that point. So, of course, those are down the road. We got goals like we want to restart our trash cleanup. We want to become first nationwide first responders. That is very lacking, and I know that's a scary thing considering the last 2 years of what people publicly have dealt with around the world. I'm not just saying the pandemic, but just like the violence that occurs in the streets, not just in one specific area, but all over the world. It's a crazy thing, and the lawsuits in certain states where you can sue people for being first responders and trying to save your life. So, we're very ambitious. We want to improve our communities whenever we can.
Yeah, straight up. So speaking of Battle Axe and people that were with the original movement, we wanted to showcase one more song from one of our own members, Battle Cat.
Yes.
It's actually one of your personal favorites off of his most recent project, By Any Means.
Also supported artists from Wild East Entertainment as well.
Yeah, so how about you talk about that track and what it means to you?
All right. So one of the things I really enjoy about Battle Cat, all right, so, he is very in tune with his culture. He is respectful with his religion. He is not false with it. He enlightens people about what's going on there, reflects other issues going on around the world and things that are happening currently that will mirror that same situation, what they're going through right now in their country. And he always carries his culture, his roots of his culture in hip hop.
Yeah.
And I really felt it in this one. He's an individual that he just wants you to hear him. He doesn't want to force thought on you. But, like, the world's in a crazy crisis, and he'll let you know. And, he's a multi-talented individual. Also, shout out to Battle Cat on pursuing an acting career. I think that's dope.
Hell yeah. I've had the pleasure of interviewing Battle Cat on both Axes Up, and we've had the personal pleasure of interviewing him on the Axe Mode podcast. And we have also had him on BaxGlobal Music.
Yes.
So we want to bring you String is King from RhYmZ and Battle Cat. This is off of his By Any Means project, which you can find on all platforms. So let's String is King, Battle Cat, RhYmZ, right here, BaxGlobal Music, episode 6 with Mr. East.
Listen to the sound of the string the sing brings. Listen to the sound of the string the sing brings. Listen to the sound of the string the sing brings. The string that passed down from the Lion Kings. The wasp to move your turn king. Descendant of the outcast, they do turn sing. Before the talk of gun clips and bling bling, the vibrations of the world would change with one string, one mic, one way, one life, one God, one sight, one struggle, one fight. No, despite all the stressing and the strife, you I still spit the knowledge right. Ever since his first buck, the whole world was struck. Now you're banging his tunes in the back of your truck. He's the one that inspired me when I was growing up. The one man with one string, city lodge and listen to the sound of the string to sing brings. Listen to the sound of the string to sing brings. Listen to the sound of the string to sing brings. The string that passed down from the Lion Kings. The string to sing brings. Listen to the sound of the string to sing brings. Listen to the sound of the string to sing brings. The string that passed down from the Lion King.
It resonates like the sound of a sword swing from Papa Deep Sing. The tumbi ring I cut with precision. Punjabi on his horse, so tarandi paskarati. Oba Chicado and listen. It's the sound of the dish up in your ear with the tabla sarangi that you lose all your fears and worries. Turn up the radio, what do you hear? Yo, it's the beat Mark. He's on it talking that don't be so supersonic. I'm talking about the ring I'ma sing brings when you listen to them Gila sing. Yamalai Jai Muhammad Sadiq. So unique, make me feel happy in Punjabi. Punjabi is so neat.
Hell yeah, shout out to Battle Cat. That was String is King. And I, like you said, Mr. East, I love how in tune he is with his culture. He's actually got some new merch dropping here pretty soon. So if you hit him up on Facebook, you just search up Battle Cat. He will be the first thing that pops up. That is Battle Katt. There's 2 T's at the end. Make sure to put that in there. And you'll get to see the fire new shirts he's made with his brand new logo that incorporates the 5 elements of hip hop. I got to meet him when I went down to Vancouver for my show when I performed on a boat cruise down there. Me, Battle Cat, Liam Dibb, Rocco, and Battle Cat's DJ there met up at the tattoo shop there, and we had a meeting. It was really dope.
Hell yeah, I bet that would have been a dope meeting.
Hell yeah. So before we let you go here, Mr. East, we're a little bit over our 45-minute limit. I'm going to give a quick shout-out to Andre Hernandez. Willie P's up in the chat with us. Kills is still joining us, so shout-out to all of our Facebook viewers. But before we leave you, who do you want to shout out?
Do I got like a minute?
You got
maybe a minute and a half?
Yeah, you got probably 3 minutes if you really need it.
Oh, shit. That's... oh. Man, okay. So, all right. So, in no specific order, I'm just going to start listing off shit. All right. Currently, everybody who's in the chat right now, tuning in, even if we can't see your name right now, and you're going to rewatch this, I appreciate the fuck out of you guys. Like, you guys rock. Like, I appreciate the support. I don't really care about how high the numbers are. That people are tuning in and giving us feedback. I really appreciate you guys. Second of all, Lingo, A-OK, every grind mode affiliate that I still have yet to talk to, and everyone that I have talked to, like, you guys are fucking amazing individuals. Like, I hope no one ever really tries to question that, because obviously I don't know what they're talking about. Like, getting to know you guys on multiple levels is actually really cool. And we can actually pick up the page even if I don't communicate with y'all for like a week or something. Like, it's just, like, everything's set correctly. Like, it's fucking amazing. Rocco, everybody who sponsored the Nebraska division and gave me that opportunity. Mike Modesto, even though you're not global and nobody really knows where the fuck you are right now, thank you. Tanya Edwards, Willie P, thank you. Like Missy Rogers, Alan Fieldhouse, everybody that was involved with the sponsorship of getting me there, and Willie P voting me in to be a district controller. And special shout out to Tanya Hayes, her husband, and her son Caleb. Like, working with you controller by controller, state by state, on every level is really dope. I know the pandemic over the last year, well, close to 2 years now, has made a lot of things busy. But when things get in the correct order again, I'm really looking to coming out there. I'm really looking forward to building more with you guys. You all rock. YT, thank you. I mean, Brittany Robertson, my girlfriend, you're amazing. My foster daughter, Faithrin Miller, you're also amazing. Thank you, Rocco, for believing me in every position that I've gotten to, even to the board of directors. Like, I appreciate you guys, and the love is what pushes me. And I'm just gonna let you know, like, I don't believe in hate, so I don't believe in haters, so it doesn't motivate me. So none of y'all actually motivated me to move forward in my life. So I want to say a special shout out to y'all, and that would be is that I hope your future gets better and you invest your time and energy in some better shit than tearing people down.
Hell
I think
yeah.
that about covers it.
Hell yeah. Well, I'm gonna speak for myself, and I know our co-host Willie P would say the same, and probably most of the other people that you mentioned would say the same. We all love you, bro.
Oh, thank you. Oh, one more thing. Thank you to every artist that's allowed me to work with you in Wild East Entertainment and just allowed me to work with you guys and communicate with you. You guys have bestowed a lot of wisdom upon me as a collective whole, so I appreciate it. Sorry to cut you off. I'll shut up.
It's all good. It's all good. So much love to you, Mr. East. Thank you very much for joining me today for this episode. I just want to give a quick shout out to Andre Hernandez, because it looks like we're going to have you on an episode of BaxGlobal Music in the future. Definitely. So make sure to hit me up after the show. Anyways, that was BaxGlobal Music episode 6. It was the lost episode. We kind of messed up the numbering a bit, but next week on Wednesday, we will go back to episode 8. We will do our recap of the month, and we will explain to you what happened with the numbers. Anyways, awesome. My name is YT RhYmZ. That is Mr. East. He's joining us from
Fox Cities, Wisconsin. Now y'all don't have to hear me say nowhere, Wisconsin.
A surprise. And to the 2 or 3 viewers that we do have in the chat right now, why don't y'all do me a favor? Show Mr. East some love. Hit me with a hashtag Mr. East in the comments, y'all.
Oh, get the hell out of here. Thank you, guys. That's great. Hey, do me a favor, guys. All 3 of you, just personal favor. Give me a hashtag Maze Overlay.
There you go. There you go.
So I can give you guys a chance to get free music.
Hell yeah. So if you want free music, hit up that hashtag Maze Overlay in the comments as well. Anyways, so next Tuesday, we have the Axe Mode podcast returns August 23rd. We will have Mac Mavato on with us on the podcast. We will be showcasing his brand new single as well as what he's got coming up. Maybe we'll get to see a more in-depth look into the MVDO project. And next Wednesday, as I said before, me, Mr. East, and Willie P will be on BaxGlobal Music to recap the whole month that we had of August. My name is YT RhYmZ. That's Mr. East. We are out, y'all.
Peace.
Take my calls, I'm in a meeting. You gonna have to pardon me, no cards to see. I put my hands close to my chest like it's hard to breathe.